Today is January 20th, and if you're back at work after having Monday off, enjoy that transition, because I feel you. It's also Cheese Lovers Days and Butterscotch Day, which, let's be honest, for anyone who grew up with grandma carrying purse candy that smelled faintly like perfume.
Welcome back to the Daily Rewind, a podcast where we rewind the time and take a look at what happened on this day in history. My name is Garrett. I'm your host. Let's get into it.
Today we begin in 1667, where the Treaty of Andrusovo ends the 13-year war between Russia and Poland. Under the terms of the treaty, Russia gained Smolensk, a strategically vital city that had long sought to reclaim. Russia took control of the left bank of Ukraine, east of the Dnieper River. Kiev was transferred to Russia, originally meant to be temporary, but it would remain Russia permanently. Poland retained the right bank of Ukraine. Through its authority, there was significantly weakened. Two powers agreed jointly governed the Zaporon Cossacks. Hopefully I pronounced that right. I probably didn't, and I don't care. An uneasy and short-lived arrangement. The Treaty of Andrusovo shifted the balance of power in Eastern Europe. It marked the decline of the Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth as a dominant regional force and signaled the rise of Russia as a major political and military power. The treaty also divided Ukraine along the Dnieper River, a division whose political and cultural consequences would echo for centuries. In 1954, FDR is inaugurated for the fourth and final time. By that point, FDR had already been in office for 12 years, longer than anyone before or after him, because then they made it a law to only serve 2 terms. And then the country was deep into World War II. By the time of the fourth inauguration, Roosevelt had fundamentally reshaped the American government. During his time, he launched the New Deal, a sweeping response to the Great Depression. Programs like Social Security, unemployment insurance, and public works projects didn't just provide immediate relief, they permanently expanded the federal government's role in protecting everyday Americans. In his second and third terms, FDR guided the nation through global crisis of World War II. After Pearl Harbor, he mobilized the U.S. economy into a wartime powerhouse. He strengthened alliances with Britain and the Soviet Union. He helped lay the groundwork for what would become the United Nations. At home, American factories boomed, unemployment vanished, and the U.S. emerged as a global superpower. By the time he took the oath of a fourth time, Roosevelt was visibly ill, but still focused on winning the war and shaping the post-war world. But just weeks later, in April 1945, he would die in office, leaving behind a legacy that redefined the presidency and changed the relationship between America and their government forever. And then in 1981, the Iran hostage crisis ends. Mere minutes after Roosevelt Reagan's inauguration as the 40th president of the United States, the 52 U.S. captives held at the U.S. Embassy in Tehran, Iran, are released, ending the 444-day Iran hostage crisis. The initial crisis began on November 4th, 1979. Militant Iranian students outraged the U.S. government and allowed the elder Shah of Iran to travel to New York City for medical treatment, seized the U.S. Embassy in Tehran, and on April 24, 1980, President Jimmy Carter ordered a disastrous rescue mission in which 8 U.S. military personnel were killed and no hostages were rescued. 3 months later, the former Shah died of cancer in Egypt, but the crisis continued on. And on the day of Reagan's inauguration, the United States freed almost $8 billion in frozen Iranian assets, and the hostages were released after 444 days. The next day, Jimmy Carter flew to West Germany to greet the Americans on their way home. And that's going to wrap up today, a short episode, but y'all have a great day. We will see you tomorrow. Peace.
Thank you for tuning in to the Daily Rewind. The Daily Rewind is produced by myself in History Talks with Garrett. Make sure you follow us on all social media platforms at the Daily Rewind Pod, and you subscribe to us wherever you're listening to this podcast so that you can get notified of future episodes. And if you are on a podcast platform that allows you to rate this podcast, please rate us. That way we can reach a greater audience. I will see y'all next time. You have a great day. Peace.